La prochaine personne que je veux introduire maintenant au groupe, c'est avec un très grand plaisir de le faire et beaucoup d'honneur et d'amitié. And there are two reasons why I'm so excited of introducing Her Excellency Edda Mukabagwiza. For three reasons. The first reason, she's from my alma mater. She was graduated from the University of Rwanda, where I did my study a few years ago. And Her Excellency did her degree in law at that university in Butari. The second reason is that for her, today is the result of a very long road in terms of from the idea to the actualization of this conference. A little bit more than a year ago, if I recall, Excellency came to see me and we discussed of the idea and so forth, and it took that long to prepare and to organize, and for her it's an accomplishment of very high quality. And the third reason also, she comes with a long, or at least a very deep experience in governance. She was a Minister of Justice from 2003 to 2006. From 2000 to 2003, she was the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Justice. And then in 2007, she was named as Ambassador and afterwards High Commissioner of Rwanda to Canada. So, and the third reason, finally, I guess the third or the fourth, is that she's a great friend. And thank you very much, Edda, for all of the expertise and the friendship that you have demonstrated to the Canadian Council on Africa, and we'll continue to work with you for sure. Madame.
Merci, Lucien, pour des mots gentils que tu viens de prononcer à mon égard. Thank you very much for your kind words. I'm very happy to be here, like he said. Honorable Senator Salma Atowalajan, who is representing also Minister Fantino, who could not be with us today, Chief Executive Officer of Canadian Council for Africa, and my dear friend, Lucien Bradet, Dean of the African Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Zimbabwe, who is also my colleague and sister, Florence Chidea, Your Excellencies, fellow African women heads of missions here today, my fellows also men heads of missions that had chosen to be with us today, and deputy heads of mission, dear Sister Patricia Malikari, the General Director for Africa Bureau for Department of Foreign Affairs, dear Philip Baker, Regional Director General from Canadian International Development Agency, Ms. Bola Shagaya, our keynote speaker coming from Africa, my dear sisters and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my singular honor and my pleasure to welcome you to this very first African Women Trade and Investment Opportunities Conference, which is being held in Canada's biggest commercial city of Toronto. I would like to extend a special welcome to the ladies who have traveled all the way from Africa to attend this auspicious event. I know that some of you were traveling for almost 24 hours, which is a grueling amount of time to spend on air. This shows not only your commitment to your business, but also your eagerness to learn what Canada, a great friend of Africa, has to offer in terms of trade and investment opportunities, but also to share some of your rich and amazing experience in your businesses too, that Canadians would like to learn from. Indeed, this is the main issue on the minds of all the women who have traveled from afar and are gathered here today, as the name of the conference suggests. Before I proceed, I would like to introduce to you my dear sisters, members of AUDIF, African Women Diplomatic Forum. I would like to start by the heads of mission who are already with us here, the women, female, that are with me today, just to represent AUDIF and to support this event. Let me begin by my sister that you've already seen, Florence Chideya, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Zimbabwe. My dear sister, the Vice Chair of AUDIF, High Commissioner of Lesotho, Matabo Tsepa, Your Excellency, ma sœur l'ambassadeur du Maroc, je ne sais pas si notre collègue l'ambassadeur du Mali est déjà ici. Est-ce que tu peux te lever, saluer l'audience, s'il te plaît? Merci. Notre sœur l'ambassadeur du Niger, our sister chargée d'affaires of Uganda, our sister chargée d'affaires of Burundi, our dear sister First Chancellor of Zambia, as member of AUDIF, our sister Minister Chancellor of South Africa, je ne sais pas si notre sœur, la ministre conseillère d'Algérie, est déjà avec nous. Sinon, elle fait partie aussi de AUDIF. Let me also introduce to you a delegation from African countries, please. And I will start by alphabetical order. Sorry. Oh, Hawa. Sorry. Je m'excuse, je venais d'oublier Hawa. La chargée d'affaires de Guinée, s'il te plaît, Hawa. Tu peux... Une grande amie et sœur, merci. J'espère que je n'ai oublié personne parmi les membres d'AUDIF. Merci. Let me also introduce to you delegations from countries so that we know each other, who is here, who is not. I will start by alphabetical order. The delegation from Angola, here I want also to mean that for some delegations that could not make it were represented by the diplomatic missions. Angola, please. Burkina Faso, we have a delegation from Burkina Faso, please. Burundi, Cameroon, DRC, Guinée, Kenya, Lesotho, Madagascar, Mali, Morocco, Niger, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Africa, Sudan, Tanzania, They are not yet with us, I think. Tunisia, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Thank you very much. Honorable Senator, allow me to take this opportunity to thank all my colleagues, members of AUDIF, an organization of African women heads of, or deputy heads of missions. The organization was created about 2 years ago, and it focuses on socio-economic and political issues. We are very proud of our biggest project, which is this conference. At this juncture, I would like to sincerely thank all those who have contributed to the organization of this conference, which I firmly believe will be successful. On this note, I would like to mention the support from African Diplomatic Corps through our Dean, the support from Canadian institutions, the private sector, like you see, the Canadian organizations. Allow me also to particularly thank the Department of Foreign Affairs through its Minister Bird and many other senior officers for a special assistance and facilitation to help this conference happen. A special thank you to Minister Fantino and his support to this conference. I can't end this paragraph without acknowledging the financial contribution we got from our different sponsors. I cannot mention all of them, but you will find all mentioned in the document. A special thank you also to all speakers, specifically those who came afar from Africa, who did their best to make this happen, coming from far, paying the tickets, paying everything, because we could not really manage for that. But they took all this in charge and they chose to be with us today. Thank you very much. I can't forget for sure the support from Canadian Council for Africa through the executive, Chief Executive Officer, my dear friend Lucien Bradet. Honorable Senator, you may wish to note that the women before you play a pivotal role in the development of their country's economies. A survey carried out by Ernst & Young 2 years ago, in May 2011, showed that women represent 49% of the workforce across Africa, making a huge contribution to the continent's economic growth, and thus making them the cornerstone of African economic growth. It is estimated that African women constitute 70% of the informal economy on the continent. According to the Food Agriculture Organization, women in Africa are responsible for 70% of crop production, 90% of all food, 50% of animal husbandry, and 60% of marketing. Women undertake nearly 1% of food processing activities, in addition to child care and other responsibilities in households. Therefore, creating trade and investment opportunities for women will improve their earning potential, assisting families to move out of poverty and contribute to overall economy. According to UN report entitled Investing in Women and Girls, International Women's Day 2008, increasing the economic participation of women has a multiplier effect. The multiplier effect is created because when women earn an income, it is first spent on families and the home. They invest in their children's well-being and their communities. It is against this background that the African Women Diplomatic Forum has organized this conference under the theme, The Role of African Women in Stimulating African Economic Growth. It is our hope that this conference will lay the foundation for a greater number of business partnerships between African women entrepreneurs and their Canadian counterparts. In addition, this conference is an opportunity to interact and develop business partnership among participants. And let me remind all participants of the 5 objectives of this conference. One is to sensitize participants to the great business opportunities that abound in Africa and in Canada. Second, to encourage new investment and strengthen the understanding of Canadian business environment by African women entrepreneurs and vice versa. Third, to facilitate access to Canadian markets by bringing together Canadian entrepreneurs to network with African women entrepreneurs and vice versa. Fourth, to promote and market products and services offered by African women entrepreneurs. And fifth, to identify business financing mechanisms available in Canada which could be accessed by African women. Chers participantes, soyez donc les bienvenus à cette conférence, unique en son genre, qui a pour but ultime de puiser sur le grand potentiel des femmes africaines entrepreneurs pour augmenter, développer et renforcer des liens commerciaux entre l'Afrique et le Canada. Without further ado, I declare this African Women Trade and Investment Opportunities Conference open. Thank you. Merci. Asante sana, murakoze cyane.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Our guests in front will move out of the front, and then I will ask Caroline McKenzie, who will be the moderator of the next session, to come forward. Madame McKenzie is a 20-year of experience in business. She was with CPCS Transcom too recently. She has an in-depth knowledge of business in Canada, and she would be very great in presenting the group here. And I like, meanwhile, Caroline will come in the front, and then maybe ask the other member of the panel to come, Madame Kubana from Rwanda, if you would like to come, Madame Miara from Morocco, du Maroc, Madame Rokuane du Lesotho, Madame Mufimira de Zimbabwe, and Madame Suzanne Stevens from Wisdom Exchange TV of Canada. Please come forward, and we'll start immediately that next session.